Hello and welcome to the Halo Forge Epidemic. This is Oakley HiDef and I'm here to bring you a tutorial that's essentially meant to cover a medieval theme, and this is basically in response to a couple requests I was getting from people which asked essentially for me to do a medieval setting, and I felt this was appropriate considering we had just released our Lord of the Rings map and we're going to continue to produce the Lord of the Rings maps, so I figured why not show you guys how to build your own medieval setting. So basically, as you can see, this is kind of a deconstructed version of what we had for Helm's Deep. As you can see, here's the keep, and the reason I kept this for this tutorial is just because I wanted to show you guys how to make your castle. When we were designing this, of course it's based off the movie, but it has a lot of sort of bits to it that are really crucial for when you're building a castle. So as you can see, when you have a castle, you want to make a keep, you want to make a stronghold. And usually what you're going to want to do is have a ramp leading up to the main gates. That's what we have here. We use braced larges, and on the outside, go ahead and use rocks just to cover the sides. That makes it look like it's really built into the wall here. Now, next thing you want to do is build an outer wall. And what I recommend doing is either use braced larges, but that's expensive. And so what you can do is use these block 3x3s. I'm going to pull one out. And the back side is kind of ugly. It has this glass, but the front side has this nice coloring to it, which looks really like a castle. So I'd recommend using that if you're going to be building a large fortification. And the nice thing about this is, as opposed to using wall colosseums, you can really get a nice bend to your castle. And so that's what we did here. We have each of these is on 15 degrees, and this castle wall will slightly bend around, so you get a nice sort of semicircle for your keep. So you have that as the main wall. Then you have these towers. Of course, braced larges sticking up, small platform up top where you can put archers or whatever, and then we have these sandbags. So you have the ramp coming up to your first outer wall, then we have a gate here. You can have this phase in, phase out. We use two pieces of cover here and then railings on the inside, so I'll go ahead and show you that. Now, once you're on the inside, what we did here is have these sort of this curved banking wall coming up, and it's a little hard to pull off, but what we did, I'll try and raise one of these pieces for you, is that it's actually a bridge medium piece. And so what we did was we put it down just at the right angle, and it's kind of similar to what you would do in race, is where you want to put a bunch of different pieces to have a nice banked curve, which is really hard to pull off, but it just takes getting used to, so go ahead and try that. So we have the first curve here. Then what we decided to do was have a platform here. This is a corner 4x4, so just to even it out, help us with the turn. So it evens out here, and then we have the next incline coming up. And then in the map we had before, there's like the main keep here. So as you can see, you can make an outer wall and then an inner wall, again using these block pieces here. Now what I would recommend doing is, once you have your wall, go ahead and add these pieces here. These are block 1x1 talls around the edge. And then that's how you have archers up here. And what I would recommend doing is, to make it look like it's actually supported, is go ahead and put these door pieces here at a 15-degree incline. If you can't really get the right angle, just go ahead and freehand it. So then we have that lifted up here. Also, another thing to note is the inside of the 3x3 pieces, as you can see right here, is ugly. It's glass. So what we did was we put brace larges on the inside just to cover that up, to make it look more like it's stone. So this is essentially how we made our keep. Now, I'm going to start covering how to make siege equipment. So what we have here, as in the video, is we have our battering ram. Now this is actually pretty easy to make. It's a braced tunnel piece that we flipped upside down, as you can see, like this. Put it down, and then we merged two together just like this. And the nice thing about this is it has an opening on the inside, which is presumably where you'd have people pushing the battering ram. And then the front side, you actually get this nice head, which would be the part that would actually batter down the wall. So that's basically how you make the main body of it. And then you add the wheels here on all sides, just using teleporter frames. And then up top, we wanted to make it look like it was kind of armored. So we have two of these blocks, 2 bones up top, and cover pieces right here, just as the wall for that. Then over here, we have the catapults. And people were saying that this was a trebuchet before, and it's actually a catapult. Trebuchet is a kind of catapult. So this is what we have here. Uses a bunch of decorative pieces. We have the railing pieces here, supported with the rock on the back, and then teleporter frame right here. Then over here we have what seems to be some sort of ballista. Use the railing smalls on the front to make the bending of the bow. And the pieces here are railings as well, cover piece right here, and then we have antenna smalls to be the side birds. So that's what you have. Then over here we have a couple villages. These are relatively easy to make. Use whatever pieces you want. Here we used the ramp extra larges just to be the outside, and then up top what we did was we put the bridge mediums just like this at an angle, put them together, and it makes a nice sort of thatched looking roof. So that's basically it for the small villages and the keep, etc. Now what you want to do if you're making some sort of battlefield is you want to have towers sticking up and around here. So here we have, once again, brace larges, stick them together. When you put them together, make them all at the same height, make them overlap right at this corner like this. Then what we did to add some color is have these banked 2x2s sticking out the side like that, just to have a black rim to it that could be maybe banners or flags. So stick some towers around your map. Then what you can also do is have a crash tower. So here we put down rocks, then we have the brace large pieces at an angle like that, and then at the top we put these blocks here off to the side, just so it looks like it's collapsed and sort of fallen apart. Now another building you can do to give it that medieval look is have a church here. So again, like you're building a tower here, have it cross over here. Then we put these banked 1x1 pieces around the top to make sort of the steeple of it, and then we have the cross using these columns. Then over here, use the blocks for the side, and then up on top we have the bridge medium pieces, once again at a 15-degree angle, put together to make the roof. Now if you're going to make some sort of fortification for your map, what you want to do is build it in obvious locations. So here we have a tower up on top of the rocks, and then we have a small fort here at a choke point. So what you want to do is integrate the terrain. Basically, to build this, you set down your floor. So this is just a wall coliseum for the base. Then the walls, we used brace larges once again to form the outside, tower here at the cross section. And then to make it so you can walk on it, what we did was actually use here the window coliseums, because they're just the right width. So we stick this in here, it gives it a nice cover piece. And then what we did was we put a wall coliseum right next to it just to cover up the glass. So that gives a perfect width for people to run on the walls and shoot off of. And of course, you're going to want to add ways to get up. So that's what we have here. Then cover crenellations right here to finish it off. So that's basically how to make small forts. Of course, take advantage of the terrain, as I said, crenellations, different levels, etc., towers, battering rams, siege equipment, small villages like this. Now, if you're going to make a big fortress, what I recommend doing is having it multi-layered. So what you want to do is first lay down a layer of wall coliseums like this. Then, as we did before, the window coliseum right here, just put it in place for archers to move up. And again, we have window coliseum here, and what it does is it allows you to move up here and take shots off. What you want to do also is have sort of an entrance. So we left a gap between our wall coliseums. Put another one right here for wall coliseum. This is 30 degrees, I believe. And so what happens is you can go on the ground, walk up, and you're at the first level of your fortifications. And then what you can do after that is make another, once again, line of wall coliseums with walls. Here you would put a gap, and this is where you can make your main entrance to your castle. So you would walk in here, it's heavily defended, and it would be similar to the gate you have over there for the keep. So that's what you want to do when you're making your fortress, is make sort of outer layers here, so a village defending it, then you can put some small walls here, and then you want to go ahead and add your main keep up here with these impressive gates, whatever you want to do right here. And of course you could throw in catapults, or trebuchets if people want to call them that, or ballistas and stuff. What you can also do is if you wanted to have a moat, you would have to move all this slightly back, and then you could build your outer wall, your main wall right here, and you'd have bridges over this slight part of water. So that's how you'd make a castle with some sort of moat. So this is essentially an overview of how to make your medieval fortress. Lots of different pieces to it. The keep, we covered the villages, we covered siege equipment, we covered. Over here there's also a well you can do. So here we had just have blocks 1 by 1 circling it, teleporter frame in the middle, flag stands coming down to be the chain, and it holds up a bucket. So there's tons of pieces you can add to your medieval setting. Of course, I haven't gotten into full deep detail into this, so go ahead and download the map and pick it apart and see what it's made of. So this is again a sort of feedback based off what you guys had asked. I'll keep doing these videos, so post in the comments below what you would like to see and I'll definitely get to it. So thanks guys, this is Oakley HiDef with the Halo Forge Epidemic, signing out.